So when you're about to wash your hair or your child's hair, please make sure you run it through the water, especially if you're using ordinary shampoo. So the hair is in twists, it stays in twists like this. You run it under the water and then you put your shampoo in and you work the scalp of the hair. I'm going to be doing a clay wash for you. Simply spritz the hair lightly and then I work the clay through the hair. I take it out to make sure that the clay is well coated on every strand of the hair. Remember, it's slightly different if you're using a normal shampoo. You've run the hair through, you've run the hair on the water, you've put your shampoo in and you work the scalp. I'm going to put the clay into her hair generously, making sure I get the tips as well. And then I'm going to twist back up. And I'm going to do that throughout the length of the hair. And then I will add more clay to the scalp and I will give the scalp a really good cleanse. Through the strands of the hair to get all the oil and all the dirt out of the hair, but please do not forget the scalp. And just to show you, this is how you work it into the scalp. And you really do, once you've coated everything, you rub the scalp just as if you're about to wash the scalp. And then you leave the clay in the hair for about 15 minutes. Let it do its thing. Let it absorb all the dirt out of the hair. Let it absorb all the oil out of the hair. And let it infuse the hair with its natural minerals. So the aim is not just to wash. The aim is for the clay to also deposit its natural minerals onto the hair. That is why it's so beneficial for our hair. So once the hair has been fully coated, remember we are still washing the hair. We're just using a mud. So please do not forget to get in between and give the scalp a good rub. Leave it on for 15 minutes. 15 minutes or 20 max should really do the job. You can wear a shower cap, but you don't have to. One thing you don't want to do is leave it for 30 minutes or more. You do not want the mud to completely dry onto the hair, because then it will be harder for you to wash out. So now we're just going to rinse out the mud. It's so important that you take your time to rinse the mud out really well from the hair. So, so, so important. I am trusting that you've already mixed the mud so that it wasn't lumpy. Now you're just rinsing through. When I'm rinsing, I then like to open the twist just to make sure that I get the shampoo or the mud out completely. One thing you will notice when you use mud is the hair is curlier, becomes curlier than normal. In fact, definitely curlier than when you've used the shampoo. Especially when you've allowed the mud to work for about 15 minutes. And that really tells you that something special is going on. It's not just washing, it's depositing, it's minerals, it's really doing its job. The use of clay shows us and tells us that the earth has given us so many things that we need. And it really is a testament that loads of ancient cultures use this method to wash their hair. We've thoroughly rinsed out the clay, and the only thing that's left is to deep condition. A mistake that people usually make before they deep condition is to deep condition wet hair. Please do not deep condition wet hair. Please use your towel, not an ordinary standard towel, Egyptian cotton if you can, or a t-shirt. Use a t-shirt to dry the hair very lightly. Once you've dried the hair and the hair is a little damp, not wet, then you put your deep conditioner into the hair. So don't start your deep conditioning on wet hair. Make sure you use a wonderful towel like the one that you can get from Anytone's Healthy Hair Studio to gently absorb some of the water. You want to work on damp hair and not wet hair. Wet hair would be a waste of the product that you're about to put in. So we've got some water out, the hair is damp, and now we're going to work our deep conditioner into the hair. I always say when you're about to apply your deep conditioner, pretend, God forbid, as if you're using a relaxer. So get it into every strand of the hair. You want to make sure you get the ends. There is no point, and this is a mistake I see a lot of people making, there is no point in getting really expensive conditioners that you're afraid or scared to use as generously as the hair requires it. Fadike's hair is long, it needs quite a bit of product, and it needs to be put through the length of the hair. Do not miss out the ends. When you're using a great deep conditioner, it really helps because it starts to do some of that detangling work for you. Deep conditioner for me is a step that I never miss. Never, ever, ever miss during our wash day routine. It is two important things. For me, it's that area that does require you to kind of invest in a great product. And it is that step in the wash day routine that really infuses moisture back into our hair, because the characteristics of our hair is that it is dry by nature. It is supposed to be dry by nature. There's nothing wrong with it being dry. But we are simply trying to counter that dryness because we want it to flourish and to grow. So our hair will always be dry. It's how we manage that dryness. And deep conditioning is the #1 way, a key step in managing that dryness. Also in infusing the hair that we've just stripped of some moisture back with moisture. So yes, putting in your deep conditioner may take about 10 minutes because you're not just splashing it and rubbing it through the hair. You're really taking your time to make sure that each strand is nicely coated with the deep conditioner that you're using. Then we move to the other side. Also, please bear in mind and see that I am working continuously in sections. Working in sections makes it more manageable and it ensures that you get that deep conditioner into every area. You're not neglecting any area. You can imagine that if you just rub the deep conditioner all over your hair, you will miss spots. By working in sections, as I am doing right now, you're ensuring that you're not missing any area. So we put the deep conditioner all through the hair, and the next thing is just to wear a shower cap to allow the deep conditioner to penetrate and do its job. I like to deep condition with heat, but I always start first by putting 2 shower caps onto Radhika's hair, and then I go and get her to sit on a heated cap for no longer than 20 minutes. No longer than 20 minutes. And then I rinse out and we're done. And we go through our LCO process, which is putting our leave-in conditioner and putting our oil onto the hair. This is it. I put 2 shower caps on her hair so that it retains more heat. That is simply the answer. I also find that some of these shower caps can be quite flimsy, so they break often. Putting 2 just secures her hair underneath it. But really is to make sure that I get as much heat generated onto the hair strands as possible.